of forestry under KWS and KAA. Those under our direct jurisdiction and management are 18. And what happens, honorable members, I guess because of the facility of KAA, we do go into arrangements to support and maintain some of the airstrips like Sololo and Turbi. And so when we have an arrangement to run a maintenance and we do a tender as KAA, we supervise the construction and the contractor will then hand over a certificate of completion. And that is basically why I said it was handed over to the client. We are the client when we are in charge of the construction, but those two airstrips belong to the Ministry of Interior, Honorable Chair, Honorable Chairman, Speaker rather, honorable members. So we'll continue to cooperate with Interior, KWS, to deliver the various airstrips, continue to support and work together in terms of providing budgetary support, and that suffices to basically clarify why I did indicate that handed over back to the client being the contracting authority, KAA. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Senators, before I give you an opportunity to ask more supplementary questions, question number 046, Senator Fatuma Nduro, is as the related subject matter on the airport in Isiolo. So I will request you also ask that question so that the CS can handle all the interventions together. Then we'll go back now to the other areas on roads. Yes, Senator Chute.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I asked two questions. Question number one was the airstrips belongs to who? Then number two, the CS should give us the deadline on when to start the project and when to finish. That question he didn't answer.
Yes, if you have that capacity to determine now, then proceed and give the timelines.
Honorable Chair, thank you again. Sorry about that. And I just thought I was repeating myself, Chair, because I had indicated that this is the vastest county in Kenya. And therefore, we'll pay attention to make sure that budgetary provisions are provided. And I'll pay personal attention because the mode of transport in a county as vast as Marsabit, if we don't provide these airstrips in a usable, maintainable mode, it becomes a challenge. And therefore, we'll pay attention and push for budgetary support to ensure that whereas the Ministry of Interior did provide that budget and we've been maintaining, we'll work with the Ministry of Interior to ensure that we do provide a budget and maintain those airports. Thank you, Speaker.
Senator Nduro, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my question number 046 reads, how much money has the government allocated and utilized so far in the project for the modernization and rehabilitation of the Isiolo International Airport? B, could the Cabinet Secretary provide a status update on the payment of compensation to owners of the parcel of land acquired for the project and indicate when outstanding balances will be paid? C, are there plans to extend the runway at the airport? And if so, could the Cabinet Secretary provide timelines for the same? D, could the Cabinet Secretary also explain why the airport is not operational and outline steps being taken by the government to address the situation? I thank you.
Cabinet Secretary.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The question for the member of Isiolo with respect to Isiolo Airport. Honorable members, with respect to question A, which is seeking the total amount of money that the government has so far allocated and utilized in the project for the modernization and rehabilitation of Isiolo Airport. Isiolo Airport, honorable members, is an international airport, given its locationing on the Lapset corridor, and what we need to do to open up that corridor and that development corridor to basically improve the economic activities of this country, because the current northern corridor is very congested. So, members, and I say that deliberately because Isiolo being an international airport, and I could see aerodrome featuring a single asphalt runway that measures 1.4 kilometers in length and 30 meters with 3 number taxiways and an apron. The airport is approximately on 800 acres, honorable members. That is 330 acres of land, of course, in both Isiolo and Meru counties. Major construction work started, honorable members, in 2011 and were completed in 2017. The airport modernization is part of the Lamu Port South Sudan Ethiopia Transport Corridor Lapset development project, as well as Kenya's Vision 2030 program. Isiolo International Airport was strategically planned to enhance access to northern Kenya and connect the region with major cities and international destinations, thereby promoting tourism and business travel. The airport aims to stimulate economic growth and attract investment. Future plans include expansion to further enhance its services and operational efficiency. The construction of the airport was executed in 3 phases, with phase 1 being the development of the runway and taxiway in 2011-2013. The phase 2 was the construction of the passenger terminal building, office block and car park, completed in 2016, and development of the access road, apron, expansion and drainage works as a phase 3 and completed in 2017. Honorable members, the cost of phase 1, 844 million, phase 2, 963 million, that phase 3, 849 million, and the runway pavement, 47.95 million. On item 5 on that table, there's a runway pavement rehabilitation works that started in 2021-2022 at a cost of 55 million. There's a proposed construction cargo processing facility at a cost of 24.3 million, which started in 2021 and was completed. Erection of floodlights, street lights installation works, which started in 2017 and was finished in 2018 at a cost of 27.78 million. There's extra mechanical service construction of a pump house, an elevated water tank, and a borehole, which also has been completed at a cost of 55 million Kenya shillings. There's relocation of a school, KK Ngechia School Phase 1, and there's also a Phase 2 with both costing 97 million, the 76.8 and the 20.4. With the project total, and both have been completed, honorable members, with the project cost at 2.974 billion, approximately 3 billion, honorable members. You can see the significance, big investment, and we need to really get down to answer the next question: why is the airport not operational after that level of expenditure? And on the question of the compensation to residents who were displaced as a result of the project, and how we are planning to finalize the compensation, Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members, on November 2nd, 2004, the Isiolo County government agreed to set aside a portion of trust land for the expansion promise alternative land for those affected in nearby areas. Similar discussion took place in the defunct County Council of Meru North. The authority held consultation with stakeholders, including district commissioners at that time and council, culminating in a supportive workshop that took place on January 14, 2005. Benefits of the airport project were highlighted, leading to further collaborative planning between the councils. And after completing a joint fiscal planning exercise, the path development plans were submitted and approved by the Ministry of Lands and Housing in April 2006. The authority received a letter of allotment for approximately 253 hectares on May 23rd, 2006. Honorable Speaker, members, meanwhile, in or around November 2004, the then Isiolo County Council conducted an identification exercise of persons affected by the expansion of the airstrip, and a full council adoption of the same was obtained. The affected persons were to be relocated by the County Council of Isiolo. As of to date, honorable members, Speaker, due to multiple conflicts, claims, the authority has not been able to compensate the project affected persons due to the fact that the genuine affected persons by the airport expansion have not been identified, as the process of vetting genuine persons and determining just compensation for the land used for expansion of the airport solely lies with the National Land Commission. In addition, there are multiple court land matters pertaining to Isiolo International Airport, which we have annexed. With respect to, and certainly we need to, given the time frame and the historical time frame, we just need to complete that. And therefore, we need to really get the National Land Commission together with the county government and of course ourselves to close that issue as the concern has been brought out by Senator Dulo. As regarding plans to extend the runway at the airport, and if so, whether we can provide a timeline, Speaker, we have listed projects that have been planned to make Isiolo International Airport fully functional to support both passenger and cargo traffic, and then really support that investment that has been laid, that has been put on the ground. These projects are all dependent with the allocation of funding, and being Isiolo being where it sits in the Lapset corridor, the National Treasury will work very closely with the National Treasury with, to ensure that with the projected budget estimate that I have enumerated of 4.8 billion, that covers what we need to do, which include rehabilitation of the existing runway through the midterm program. An evaluation of the existing runway was done, and a recommendation of the fully reconstructing the runway made due to the failures that have been observed since inception. I think there's a bit of clay cotton there, and we need to redo that. It will cost us 1.5 billion. Runway extension of 3.5 kilometers to really land the bigger flights. Extending the runway will cost us 1.5 billion. We need to put in a fire station at an additional 300 million. We need to complete the airport perimeter fence. We need airfield ground field lighting, which will cost us 250 million. We need aircraft traffic control tower. With the expansion noted above, we may require that, and it will cost us an additional 300 million. Improvement of drainage around the airport to basically address that water logging due to the type of soils there will cost us 300 million. And land acquisition for VIP car parks, hangars, and road expansion. A total budget, like I said, of 4.8 billion. And like again, to reiterate that Isiolo being where it sits in the Lapset corridor, And for the strategic definition, we will work very closely to secure the investment already on the ground by facilitating a completion of this airport. On the question of why the airport is not operational and the steps we are taking to address the situation, Mr. Speaker, sir, the facility currently accommodates non-scheduled flights, primarily involving caravans and helicopters, but is experiencing significant runway defects due to flooding caused by terrain challenges and expansive blackout on soil. These issues have led to low pavement classification values, limiting the type of aircraft that can operate safely. Honorable Speaker, in November 2020, the authority engaged the Material Testing and Research Division under the Ministry of Transport to assess the runway pavement and recommend corrective action. The Kenya Airports Authority is awaiting additional funding from the National Treasury to address these issues with proposals that include reconstructing the runway, like I've said. And the project, the runway, being the international status, positioning of Isiolo, I did say these defects, as they present a serious risk, including safety hazards, operational limitation, increased maintenance cost, will be something of priority for us. And therefore, timely repairs are crucial to enhance safety, expand operational capacity, reduce long-term costs, and attract more users, ensuring our facility long-term viability. And again, members will pay attention. Isiolo is a critical geopositioning in the Lapsset corridor. And so it is of national interest as much as it's of interest to the senator from Isiolo. Thank you.
Senator Dulo, you can ask your supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and CS Chirchir for the response. Unfortunately, I've gotten the response just half an hour before you came in. I might not be able to interrogate, but since I know what is happening on the ground, I can be able to ask a further question on the same. Now, on the part of the airport, having started in 2011, and I know you have reiterated that this airport is really important for the government and also for the people living in those areas. And looking again at the policy of Kenya Kwanza bottom-up approach, this is an airport that should have helped the people from that area. And secondly, it will ease a lot of congestion at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, more specifically for those people who are transporting miraa and also doing business to more specifically northern part of the country. Waziri, you have said you have used 2.9 billion, which is a huge chunk of money. And the balance required is about 4.8. This is a project that started in 2011. As we look at that airport, it's just a white elephant project. And I know the government cannot miss 4.8 million to uplift and upgrade and develop that part of the country. CS, I know supplementary budget is going on. And I know, as you have said, this airport is really important to you. Can you give us a timeline within which you are going to commit to finalize this project? Because it's really important for us. Employment, economic empowerment, and all that. The second question, Mr. Speaker, is on compensation. As you have said, NLC is taking us round in circles. I've asked this question on this floor of the House. Even in the last Senate, same stories are repeated. I have personally gone to KAA to follow up. They have all the names of the people who need to be compensated. NLC has the list. But the communities are being frustrated after their land being taken in 2011. And I hope Waziri is listening to me, Mr. Speaker, is as a result of frustration by NLC that people went to court. Can the minister give us a commitment when this matter is going to be resolved? Because NLC has everything. I even have the list of the beneficiaries. They cannot say they don't have the list. In fact, there was no land even set aside by the county council. I have followed all that. In the absence of the list, the land set aside for by the county council, actually in the last parliament, county government of Isiolo even brought more lists of beneficiaries to NLC, bringing more confusion. So this matter is really very sensitive. Can the minister tell us when they are going to conclude on this matter and settle the outstanding compensation? I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Senators, we're going to take two more supplementary questions so that the CS can answer 3 questions at a time. Senator Kathuri Murungi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to weigh in from where my sister, Isiolo Senator, has left. Honorable CS, this airport, the initial idea was very good to do the airport in Isiolo, as you have really stressed. But if you go to that airport, Honorable CS, maybe you have been there or not, the CEO, Kenya Ports Authority, has been there severally, and your team, including the CS, the PS. But if you go to that project, you realize that Kenya, we are really wasting resources because the airport is huge. Actually, it is at the level of Eldoret Airport. Actually, better than Eldoret Airport, if I may say. But if now
Senator Mandango, what is your point of order?
you know, Eldoret is not your airport.
Senator for Meru.
What is it?
Isiolo is not yet even classified an airport. Eldoret is an international airport receiving not less than 5 cargo planes. I expect you to be asking the CS when is he expanding the runway so that we can export horticultural produce from
Yes,
that place.
Deputy
Please
Speaker.
don't compare my airport with an airstrip meant for livestock.
Order, Senator. Order, Senators. Order, Senators. Order. I was going to address that. Order, Senators. Senator, Deputy Speaker, Senator Mandago was on a point of order. You should have taken your seat while he was talking, but that's been overtaken by events. Senator Mandago, I didn't quite hear your point of order. What was your point of order?
You know, Honorable Speaker, under 105.
Order, Cherargei, can we hear the senator in silence?
Yes. Understanding 105, standing order 105, Honorable Speaker, and a statement of facts. The Senator of Meru should provide evidence that Isiolo Airport that is not operational is better than Eldoret International Airport. He is on record. He said it. Yes. This business of people demeaning projects in other counties, Honorable Speaker, is not correct. And I was just passing information to the Honorable Deputy Speaker that he should actually be asking the CS when is Eldoret International Airport going to be extended, because it's more visible and achievable and economically viable.
Senator Deputy Speaker.
For sure, I don't know why my friend here is offended by my statement. You know, Speaker, I was building my case to showcase that Isiolo International Airport, actually it is international level, is as huge, even better facilities than what is in Eldoret. I've been to Eldoret Airport. I've been to Isiolo. Actually, I want to be informed by my colleague here, Senator Chalgei. He requested for some form information to me, which
Senator,
I accept. Then
Senator
I'll be able
Cherargei.
to execute my issue.
Senator Cherargei.
Mr. Speaker, you know, for me, has been to Isiolo International Airport, it has more better facilities than Eldoret. Eldoret, the reception area of Eldoret looks like a toilet or ramshackle, Mr. Speaker, and they don't have a direct flight. So in fact, they are better, and there are no direct flights to Eldoret International Airport, Mr. Speaker. The area senator should be pushing for a better upgrade of Eldoret International Airport instead of undermining Isiolo International Airport, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mandago, what's your point of order?
My point of order, Honorable Speaker, is on 105. Can Cherargei really say that Eldoret Reception Airport is equivalent to a toilet? When Nandi County itself is suffering from serious problems, they are not yet even at the level of getting an airport. They are still struggling with all-weather roads, Honorable Speaker. The other day, we were being treated to demolitions in Nandi. It's a very disorderly county that they have no capacity to comment.
Senator Mohammed Faki, what is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I think it is a misnomer. It's a misnomer for some of these so-called international airports to be called international airports. If an international airport doesn't allow flights to land at night, how can that be an international airport? Airports that close at 5 p.m. That cannot be an international airport.
Which
Which
airport are you referring to?
Eldoret. And you know, recently, Mr. Speaker, sir, we voted for Eldoret County, Uasin Gishu County, to be called a city, Eldoret to be a city. And how can a city not have an airport that works 24 hours?
Senator, this is the last point of order. Senator Veronica, what is your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, I am getting lost with the proceedings in the House right now. The Cabinet Secretary is in the House today. He's answering questions regarding the question that was raised by the Honorable Senator for Isiolo. And he has the standardization of international airports. Now, senators are arguing whether these are international airports airports or not international airports. The marking scheme on the standards of those airports is here, is in the House. Why don't you ask? Him to define for us what an international airport should contain and whether Isiolo and Eldoret have international
Senator
airports.
Paul Thangwa, what is your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, I've not finished.
No,
I'm not done. You cannot define when I'm done. It is only the Speaker who can define when I'm done. Honorable Speaker, I'm trying to help the House. Let the CS for transport define for the House what an international airport should contain, and whether Uasin Gishu
whether Uasin-Gishu Eldoret has an international airport and Isiolo has an international airport.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Paul Thangwa, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I don't understand the fuss.